It's too late to press F10 to stop. We're rolling. We're rolling. Hello, we are live. Well, not live, but you get what I'm saying. Welcome to episode 32 of the Trey Smith Perspective. Obviously, that makes me Trey Smith. These are my perspectives. Shout out to you, Spotify listenership, YouTube viewership, Podbean listenership. That's where I would say Apple, but again, y'all don't want me there. I get it. I'm not one in a lot of places, but I just didn't think a streaming service would be one of them. It's all right. We're just gonna keep rolling. We're gonna keep rolling until we figure that out. Eventually, still fucking stumps me to all hell how that is. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that, but nevertheless, welcome to episode 32. Shout out to you if you're here, first time listener, last time listener. Got a good bit to get to today. Not really, actually, just a lot of my personal pain, basically. For real. Last week was some bullshit. But there were some good things that come out of it, obviously. We have a new Cat Williams special coming at some point soon on Netflix. Kendrick Lamar's album drop. A new episode of Barry. Some eventful shit going down. NBA playoffs, which I guess is probably where we will start. We'll just do a quick run over of the conference finals in the East. In this corner, we have the Boston Celtics taking on the Miami Heat. Two pretty even teams, I think. Except, I feel like Boston has more offensive firepower. Like, both teams are good defensively. Both teams are well coached. But Boston has a few dudes that can go get it, as to Miami kind of really has to rely heavy on Jimmy and Tyler. And Bama more so can give you a little bit here and there. But he's more of like a defensive, like, he could distribute really well. He could distribute very well as well for a big man, but he's more of like a defensive presence, control the paint. They're looking for Jimmy and Tyler to score them big fucking buckets. I really want to pick Miami in that. As of recording this, they haven't started yet. I really want to pick Miami. I want Miami to win. I'll be rooting for them, but I got Boston at 6. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, they got dudes all over. Al Horford for some reason was balling. They got dudes all over the place that can go ball. Excuse me, pardon me, Jeebus. Mavs Warriors. How about Luka just single-handedly like embarrassing the shit out of the fucking Suns and just sending them home? That meme's gonna live forever. Luka just fucking looking at fucking Devin Booker, that's gonna live on forever. Shout out to the Mavs. I would like to see the Mavs go, but the Warriors are gonna clean them up in 5 games. I feel like at least Luka might get them 1 if Jalen Brunson and Finney Smith and some of them other boys off the bench can get going over there in Dallas. But Golden State got the experience, they got the coaching, they got the talent, they got the young energy in there with Jordan Poole in them. I like Golden State to win it all, I think. I think that's the way I'm leaning right now. I got Golden State winning it all. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all, actually. Klay Thompson's back after missing 2 fucking years. Gotta love it. Got to love it. It's been some great playoff games this year. Jeebus, I can't speak. There's been some great playoff games this year. The Mavs and Suns Game 7 was not one of them. They scored 27 points in 2 fucking full quarters. 24 minutes. There was 24 minutes of NBA basketball. They scored 27 points. I don't know if Chris Paul's done. Probably Could be, but actually, nah. I don't want to say that. I did agree. I meant that in the way that like his championship window is probably closed, at least in Phoenix. But he still definitely got plenty in the tank. He just was dog shit in that round. Brady signed a fucking crazy deal at Fox for after he retires. It was like $375 million or some shit. For some reason, I didn't put the number on my whiteboard. What's the fucking marker for? But crazy deal. I am excited to see what Brady brings to the table as like an analyst. I think it's to be an analyst. I don't think it's like a play-by-play guy or like dude to do games. I think it's for like the day in day out analyst shit. The Skip Bayless shit. Put him on there with Skip and Shannon, that'll be awesome. Not really. Don't do that. What else is there to get into before we dissect my pain here? And find out where the fuck my keys are. Barry, episode 3. Episode 4 is out right now as of recording this. I have not seen it yet. Have not had the chance to. Will see it before next week. But yeah, Barry. It's fucking crazy. Crazy. It's hilarious. This episode I don't think was as strong as the first 2, but again, I think we're building to something. I think there's only 8 episodes this season, which is bullshit, but fucking COVID. Fucking... Alright. Let me get into this because it's affecting how I'm speaking on other topics. Alright. Never again in my life will I utter the phrase, can't go nowhere without keys. Because you can. I am a testament to you can go somewhere without fucking keys and then just never find the keys again. Weird, vague. What the fuck are you talking about, Trey? Hold up. Let me back up for you. Let me zoom out. Let me put it in context. I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. This shit made me lose sleep. Like, I had a headache for 2 days trying to think about it. And I still don't know where my... Alright, I'm zooming ahead. I'm walking out of work. I want to say Friday. Walking out of work. I specifically, explicitly, and vividly remember putting my keys in my left pocket. Why? I don't have them near me. I was wearing these stupid fucking like skinny jeans, which every time you put something in the pocket, it's like uncomfortable shit, right? So the keys are in my pocket. I walk out the door. I walk straight to my fucking car. I get in my car. I start my car. This is how I also know that my keys were on my person, because I have a push to start. You need to be in the car, or at least have that sensor super close or relatively close enough. I don't know what the range is, but I'm pretty sure you got to be like in the fucker. I've never tested it. The point is, I have my keys in the car because I started the fucking car. Start my car. I walk out of work. Keys in my pocket. How do I know? Uncomfortable. Get in my car. Start it. Drive home. I live like, if I hit the light, 12 minutes away. That's adding like, that's being generous with a minute or two there. Maybe like 10. So I get home. I pull in the driveway. And as I'm sliding the gear shifter into park, the thing on the dashboard is flashing key out, key out, key out, key out. There had been no indication prior that I had lost the key. Actually, this was Thursday. This was definitely Thursday. Because this did not happen on the day that Kendrick's album came out. Because I definitely would have remembered that. Kendrick's album was like a fucking break, like a salvation from my misery. All right, hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So it's Thursday. I walk out of work. Keys in my pocket. Drive home. Start the car. drive home. Obviously, I got to do that before I drive home. I get in my car, drive home. Soon as I put the car in park, it says no key. I think sensors are just goofing. This thing's just joshing around. So I turn the car off. I grab my mac and cheese. I grab my tea. I'm going to get in the crib. I'm home. What you fucking talking about? I can't find my keys. I'm looking for my keys for fucking... What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm looking under shit. I'm doing this shit. I'm fucking... What the fuck? What the... Dude, what the... Where the... And then I let out one of these. How? I let out a fucking howl, dude! I literally screamed that in my driveway. I was frantic. Because I still don't understand how I was able to drive home with no indication that the keys were not on me. 1, 2, where did they go? Where did they go? Hello? Hello? Where did they go? Bro, got in the car, started the car, shut the door. Actually, I'm lying. Took my shirt off. Because we wear fucking like company polos. I took a fucking company collared fucking polos made by OGO. I took this fucking thing off because it was like 90 degrees out. Maybe the fucking heat cooked my brain. Because it still gives me a headache to think about. Sat in the car. Started the car, drove home. I Googled, is this even possible? I'm in my phone Google machine. Is it possible to drive without the fucking key fob? First thing that pops up on Google, it says you could start the car and then literally toss the fucking keys out the window and just drive for as long as you want. You could just drive for as long as you want. I'm like, oh, fucking great. So it is possible that I just pulled the biggest doof move in the history of doofiness. Should be the mayor of fucking Doofsville. Where are my keys? So I'm fucking freaking out. I sprint in my room, and I'm like, I gotta go back and look. In the back of my mind, I know that, like, there's probably more misery happening because around 8 months ago, my key fob died. Or was starting to die. So I had to use my backup, which was also starting to die. My grandpa, being the saint of a man that he is, before he started to have really health issues that are keeping him from being able to move around as freely as he would like, came to my job one day and said, give me your key. Give me your key. I said, why? He's, I'm going to go get the battery for you. And I was like, all right, cool. You don't have the backup, do you? I was like, no, I don't generally carry my backup with me. It's not generally what backups. That's not generally where backups are. Backups are typically in a safe space. As backup. And he's like, all right. And he's like, well, you're going to have to take that one up. And I was like, yeah, I know, yeah. Psh, I got it. I never took that one up. So I grabbed that key fob out of my dresser. And I hit it. No light, no response from the car. I'm like, fuck. I get in it, go to start it. Nothing. And that was like 2 layers of fuck because I know if my keys were somewhere in the car still somehow, like, it would have let me start the car. So I'm like, dude, I don't. So I'm calling my job. My fucking manager gets on. My manager, Tim, one of the 3 managers gets on. I love Tim. He gets on. He's like, I explained my whole situation. Tim, I don't have keys. I got drove home somehow. Apparently, I Googled it. Like, if you don't have a key fob, like, you could just... Or if you throw the key fob out the window after you start the car, like, you can still drive the car. Like, I don't have my keys. And I scream all this shit. And then he's like, oh, you don't have your keys. Yeah. Where do you think they should be? And I was like, in the parking lot for sure, because I started my car. I was like, I have a push to start. I need to be in the car. They're definitely in the parking lot somewhere. And he's like, okay, I'll send somebody outside. Do you want to wait or do you want to call back? And I was like, I'll wait. So I wait for 10 minutes. And he's like, yeah, I looked at the break room, the dairy section. I didn't see him. I'm like, Tim, I need to be in the car to start the car. The keys are not going to be anywhere near the store. And he's like, oh, you have a push to start. And I'm like, yes. And he's like, well, I had Robert looking in the parking lot. He said he didn't see anything. I was like, all right. He's like, I'll keep him looking. So I moved on to plan B, and I had texted Rodrigo, who I work with. I believe I brought him up on this podcast before, so I texted Rodrigo, and I said, yo, can you run me up to CVS real quick? He said, no problem. Ran me up to CVS. I grabbed the fucking Cr-2032 or whatever it is that goes in these little fucking fobs. And then I get to CVS, and I'm looking for my battery. And that's a whole fucking thing in its own, because I grabbed the battery, and these two dudes, like the camera guy and the counter guy, are just sitting on the edge of their respective counters, because like there's like 3 registers, and then it leads into like the camera section, and they're just leaning on there like their part, like talking about like the flu season or whatever. Like, yeah, like you definitely, man, want to make sure that you get your shot, because like you don't want to be like infected, and then like wanting to like, and then like they see me coming, and dude who was talking stops and just follows me with his eyes like the whole way. So he's like, yeah, like you don't want to be like, are you checking out? So then like I say yeah, and then he stops and he starts walking with me, and he walks past all 3 registers. He doesn't walk behind the counter. He walks out in front of the counter, walks past all 3 registers over by the self-checkout, which was the first time that I had noticed the self-checkout. If I had known the self-checkout was there, I would have just used it. I'm all for fucking avoiding that weird, dumb fucking interaction, because companies make you have to do the, hi, how are you? That it's not a genuine interaction. Like, if you want to talk, we could talk, like, hey, what's up, how you doing? Like, beyond, like, the hey, how are you, like, all the forced interactions that some companies force employees to do with fucking customers is annoying, all right? Every time I walk into Ollie's and I damn near have to fucking wrestle my things away from the cashier because she wants me to sign up for a rewards card because you get extra points. It's fucking annoying. If I say no once, that's no. If I say no twice, you've asked too many times. You know what I mean? If I have to say no 3 times, I'm not coming to the store again, yo. Leave me alone. The fuck? Anywhoozle. He walks past all 3 registers. He goes to the self-checkout, and then he hits the button. He's like, you ever use one of these? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, thanks, bro. This is him walking. Thanks, bro. That, like, really helps us out. And he walks all the way back by his friend, just posts back up on the counter. He's like, yeah, because, like, when flu season comes, you want to make sure that you, like, do not get that. Like, you do not want to fuck around. I'm sitting there just, what is today? What is today? Fucking get in the car, riding back home, praying that the key fob works. Because I had disassembled the key fob before Rodrigo had gotten to my house. I disassembled the key fob so I could pop the battery out so I could just one for one the battery. You know what I mean? When I pop the fucking key fob open, little alien antenna fucking thing in there stabs into my thumb, gets stuck. I'm waving it around. Pull it out, just blood just starts pouring down my thumb. I'm like, oh my god, tell me I fucking broke this thing. Tell me I broke this thing before I even got to put the fucking battery in. So the whole ride home from CVS, I'm like, thanks for the ride, dude. If this doesn't work, you're going to hear me scream from my home. He lives like 10 minutes down the street. I'm like, you're going to hear me scream from my home. So I get in, pop the battery in the key fob. I'm like, oh, hallelujah. 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 I'm out of here. I fucking whip out. I drive back to work. I'm looking for my keys. I walk into the store real quick just to make sure that, like, before I go perusing the parking lot and up by Broadhead looking by a main road and shit, that nobody, like, found them and brought them into Lost and Found. Because I didn't even think to ask about that on the phone. Like, did anybody bring them in? Like, see me, like, drop them or maybe put them on my roof or something? Like, because I myself don't know them. I don't know. So I go in and everyone's like, it's already a fucking thing. Because, like, 3 heads turn at once. They're like, did you find your keys? And I'm like, no. And then fucking, I think I've heard this one 14 different times. They gotta be somewhere. Yeah? You ain't kidding. Are they in your car? No. You sure? You took under the seat? Lord, give me strength. You don't think I checked? And then and then it worked the next couple days. I'm still hearing it actually now to this day. You never found your keys? No. Wow. They gotta be somewhere. Yeah. And the one chick was like, "Are they in the break room?" And I was like, I have a push, and I was just like so exhausted from explaining it. I was like, maybe. I never thought to look there. I never thought to look there. So to this day, we are a couple weeks out from that incident, and I have yet to find my keys. I still can't even like process like what I'm waiting for it to come to me. Like like when you're hungover or something, or like when you don't really remember the night before, I'm waiting for it to like pieces to come back. Like I'm waiting for like the missing piece to fall into place. Just to give me an answer as to what the fuck happened to my keys, but I have no idea. I looked in the parking lot that day for like 20 minutes. I looked up by Broadhead, all through wherever. Somebody had to have picked them up because I didn't see anything. Like there was nothing. And the only thing that really like pissed me off, obviously because like those key fobs can be expensive, and I'm going to have to order one at some point. But thank God I had a backup. But yeah, my house key. So I was like, fuck it, and I just went to fucking a hardware store, changed my locks. Which is like, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that big a deal. You know what I mean? It's not that expensive to fix, but it is just annoying. And man, I still don't know where my keys are. And then the next day, I lose my glasses. Same fucking way. I'm getting in my car. I'm putting these on. I gotta work. I take my glasses off. These are my other glasses that I'd prefer to wear, but they're broken, so I can't fucking like wear them out of the house because they have like two different fucking So you know what I mean. Excuse me. So I take my glasses off and I'm holding them like this. I put these ones on. I get in my car. I start my car. I drive home. I get home. No glasses. You tell me, because I got nothing. I got nothing. I have no fucking idea. Now, I'm not that upset. I'm more upset about my keys than those, because those glasses, I didn't pay for the scratch-free lens on those, and there was a huge scratch on the fucking left. Man, after 8 to 10 hours of wearing them, my head would... Sometimes it was worse than others, but some days the light would catch that more than others. You know what I mean? If you wear glasses and they're smudged, you know what I mean? Some days you're like, the imperfections on the glasses they bother your eyes some days more than others. And yeah, there's some days that would fuck. Like the scratch was so bad because I believe my aunt's dog or my grandma's dog, one of the two, like they jumped up and like bit my glasses, or like their teeth hit my glasses. And yeah, that can be fucking, that creates a fucking heartbeat of a headache in your temple. So does lying awake like at night like this, like where the fuck are my keys? I can't be this much of a stooge, dude. Where are they? Like fucking Officer Doofy reporting for duty. Like I still feel like such a fucking doof for losing my keys in that fashion. Like I wasn't drinking, I wasn't high, I wasn't partying. I put them in my pocket, leaving work, drove the fuck home. Can't go anywhere without keys. I walked into work the next day and I heard somebody say that. You can't go anywhere without keys. And I was like, ha! Hate to break it to you, but you can. You can go far. And you can never find your fucking keys again. That's just life. I'm so upset about that. Oh. I don't know what makes me more upset. That or that for like the last like 3 weeks, I've been fucking yellow light man at every fucking intersection, red light. Every time I'm coming, and it's always when like I'm in crunch time. Like, all right, I gotta get to work in a couple minutes, or I'm gonna be running late from coming back from my lunch. Or it's like, dun, 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 yellow light, red, right as I'm fucking coming through, or it's at a bridge. Anytime I'm coming up on a bridge, or like a right turn only, or like a yield section, anytime where it's like annoying as fuck, yellow light man. As I fucking pull up, I'm staring at green and I just know yellow's coming. I almost like manifest the yellow, but then like when yellow comes up, I stop breathing. I'm like, today it happened when I was on my way back home from lunch, and at the 5 Points intersection, I'm coming down. It's yellow. It's red. I literally ran the red light, but I was like, ah, and just fucking. Just ran right through it, just going, ah! I'm not yellow fucking light man today. And just went. Then I'm driving through Ambridge sometime this weekend, and I didn't look because honestly I was shook. Like, how could you not be, right? Like, I'm right off the bridge. Like, it's aggressive coming right off the bridge, bro. Like, yo, welcome to Ambridge. My window's down. I'm not playing music or nothing because I'm following the GPS to a store I ain't been to in a while. I just want to make sure where to turn. So there's nothing coming off the radio, no sound coming out of my car. I just have my window down. All I hear is, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass! That's all I hear. I laughed a little bit, but I was shook. I didn't look at all. I didn't know who he was talking to. I didn't know who he was talking to me. It felt like he was talking to me because he said it so loud. It felt like he was like right here. And like my butt puckered. I was like I squinched a little bit. I was like I was like, oh shit, I hope he ain't talking to me. I made the right. I went down to wherever I had to go. And then I went through a red light and then a stop sign. And then I seen I had to go through another red light. I was like, oh, that dude's not going to be able to fuck me in the ass from down here. He's going to have to come all the way down here. So I was in that game store for a little bit. Finally got what I needed. I'm on my way back out. And I'm like, I wonder if that dude still wants to fuck me in the ass. But I didn't see him. He said it so fucking aggressively. Yeah, again, I was shook. I wasn't looking. I was like, oh, shit. It's like, what if he knew? Because like he might have knew me, like, but I didn't recognize the voice, and there was a lot of aggression in that. Like, he wasn't just gonna fuck me, he was gonna hate fuck me in the ass, and I wasn't having it. I was getting the fuck out of that situation. Or I was gonna have to potentially fight him or something. And I'm not from Ambridge, so I'm not gonna fight there. And I think it's like it was a nice part. It was like a nice part. Again, it was right off the bridge, like. I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. And I was like, hello? Where am I? I had to make sure to go to the gym that day after all that car key shit. Because, like, to mentally just decompress. Some days you just, like, you'll go to the gym and you won't even, like, you won't be there so much for, like, to push weight or to, like, to get sexy so much, but as to just mentally reset, just put your headphones on and just be here for a minute. Like, the best days at the gym are when everything around you just kind of, like, fades away. It's harder to do in the Moon Township Planet Fitness because everything's literally fucking right on top of you, but it's literally 8 minutes from my house, so that's yeah. You just gotta focus harder. You just gotta focus harder on creating your little bubble of mental health. Just fucking. And then I find on those days when I go to the gym just to, like, all right, I'm not even worried about weight or whatever. I'm just gonna do some light shit just to try and get my mind right. I find on those days after I do a couple like, oh, all right, wait a minute. I find those are my best workouts when I end up doing the most weight and pushing the most weight and doing the most reps. Instead of like 4 sets of 10, it's 3 sets of 10 and 3 sets of 7, and then I'm fucking cleaning up on other shit that I wouldn't normally do. So, yeah, all about the protection of the mental health here. Especially from doofy-ass accidents like losing your fucking keys somehow. Good fucking Jeebus. And I'm at the gym that day, so yeah, that was the point I was trying to get to. I'm at the gym that day after losing my keys. And I come across just the complete specimen of a dude that I just would not fuck with. Just 1,000%. Like, this dude, he's cranking them out, right? Like, he's fucking, after I just see him cranking it out on the fucking leg thing, he gets up, and he's like fucking Master Roshi, dude. He's like fucking, I just see this. Just fucking cradles his, like, just cups his 2 hands together over his sternum, just like he's just centering all his ki, right? Just this big Viking potato-eating looking Slavic fella just and then sits back down, and I'm just hello? Like this, like, good Lord. Terrifying. But hey, whatever you gotta do to get in the zone. Sometimes I gotta skip through like fucking 20 songs in a row. Like that, sometimes that gets annoying. There ain't no worse feeling at the gym than when like you're like, sometimes you're in a funk and you need the music to kind of like get you going, but you're so burnt through all of your gym playlists at the time sometimes that you're just like, oh my gosh, none of these are hitting me where they need to hit me right now. No. What else do we have to get into? Sometimes I write shit on here. Sometimes I write things on this board and I'm like, I'll definitely know what I meant by that. I definitely don't. No, I just wrote fucking beast. Don't know what I meant by that. Could have been referring to many things. Could have been referring to the dude I was just talking about. That Slavic mountain-dwelling Viking fella. Could have been talking about Luka in the playoffs. Could have been talking about Brady's Fox deal, because it's somewhere around there. I got to do a better job of positioning that. That's really the first one I've run into where I've been like, what the fuck did I mean by that? Because I genuinely don't know. Anyhoozle, I guess we can get into music, right? Shit, I didn't think we'd go this long without getting into music, and I haven't set up a way to fucking bring my wire in here, so I forgot that the laptop battery was an issue last time. It shouldn't affect this pod, but I did just peep that we're getting lower than I wanted. What music have I listened to since the last pod other than obvious? We'll save Kendrick for last. Malls Monday dropped a single, Hundreds and Fifties. I really like it. I listened to it for a couple days in a row, actually. That was a pretty good little single there. Normally, I tend to avoid singles, but for the most part, this is singles. Burna Boy dropped a single, and it was fucking last. I love it. That's been in rotation since it dropped. And Lucky Day, and I want to say Mark Ronson. Yes, it was Mark Ronson. Lucky Day and Mark Ronson, too much. Anything Lucky Day. Lucky Day's been just fucking slamming shit out of the park. R&B's obviously been my bag for the last, I want to say actually like better part of the last decade of my life. That's been more so my bag than rap, but still a hip-hop fan, so rap obviously gets listened to, i.e. the Malls Monday and the Kendricks, which dominated the weekend for me. But before we get into that, surprise album review here, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Someone told me to listen to this. I believe Spotify told me to listen to this. Yeah, it came up in, because I was just putting every newly released album, like out of the last like week, into a playlist just to listen to. I believe for the pod, and I saw 3 Days Grace and Red Hot Chili Peppers there. I didn't make it through the whole 3 Days Grace album, but there was one song I liked a lot. I think it's called So-Called. Yeah, it was So-Called Life. That one definitely made it into the workout playlist. The Red Hot Chili Peppers album was good. That was a whole vibe. I put that on a Bluetooth speaker while I was shooting the basketball around outside. That was a nice vibe out of that Red Hot Chili Peppers album. But to the album of the week, right? And so far, probably album of the year, even though it's been pretty divisive on social media. Some people have liked it a lot. Some people have sworn by it. Some people have dropped their religion and have sworn to Kdot. Some people hate it. Some people think this is trash. Some people think it's Kendrick's worst album. I want to say I lean closer to the former. But I want to pull up his discog. That's what I'm looking for. I want to pull up his discog. Sometimes I forget the capabilities that I'm able to do while doing this on video. I could have pulled this up on the video. From now on, we will have that. I think that this is his... Well, first, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Newest album from Kendrick Lamar. I think it's his first drop in 5 years. The Heart Part 5. The Hearts are never on the albums, so I'm not surprised it wasn't on there. But this was the first album where I feel like it would have fit in really nice with the album. Somewhere in there. Maybe as maybe after Purple Hearts. Because I think Purple Hearts is the last record on disc 1. So maybe like after that and before Count Me Out. I really like this album. When you hold it up against shit that's coming out today in rap, it shines brighter than this light that's in my fucking eyeballs. Shines amazing. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of bangers on it. There might be maybe one or two that might get like played on the radio or in like clubs or whatever, but I don't think that's what he was looking for. He's really in the point in his career where he doesn't have to put music out for that. But when you hold it up against his own albums, like his own standard, I feel like this is his fourth best album, and you could maybe argue his third best, but I'm not putting it above that hat trick of Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, and To Pimp a Butterfly. I can't put it above those three. Now, while I think there are better songs on here, because you could talk me into putting it over To Pimp a Butterfly, because I could take... I feel like I can't really listen to it like songs individually off To Pimp a Butterfly, except like I and Blacker the Berry and maybe How Much a Dollar Cost. No, sometimes I listen to Mama Said too. But I love that album. But we'll get to that. Yeah, like I feel like because like I can like, because I've been running back United in Grief, N95, Die Hard, Purple Hearts, Count Me Out, Silent Hill, Savior, Mr. Morale. Like a few of those I can put in any playlist, like any hip hop playlist, and they'll for the most part fit. To Pimp a Butterfly, you kind of have to listen to with To Pimp a Butterfly, but To Pimp a Butterfly front to back is like one of the best album listening experiences ever for me. Like I absolutely love listening to that album front to back all the way through, because it's a whole fucking experience, and it might be his best in that sense, from front to back whole experience. That might be his best in that lane, but as a whole, I think it falls third to me under Damn and obviously Good Kid, Mad City, because Good Kid, Mad City is just ridiculous. But Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I don't want to hear people. I don't know why people are saying this is trash. This is 1,000% like what I would want from Kendrick. Do I maybe want a little bit more of the upbeat talking my shit Kendrick that I think people are looking for? That's why I think people, like, there's no DNA on here. There's no Humble on here. I think those are the records that people are looking for. That's why that they aren't really mad here. But I mean, N95 and Die Hard and Count Me Out and like Mr. Savior, he even goes a little bit on that one, but like he's not here for that. That's not what this album's for him. And this is his last album on TDE, so I'm sure that means something special to him as well. So I'm sure that there's a lot of that is having an input on this album as well. So I enjoy this project. I don't know why people are divisive on it, but yeah, again, tracks I like off of it: United in Grief, N95, Worldwide Steppers, Die Hard, Father Time with Samp was crazy. Kodak did a nice job where he was featured. Kodak did great. It's probably the best musically I've heard, like bars I've heard from Kodak, honestly. But I'm not a huge Kodak listener. But I thought he did a good job here. We Cry Together was crazy. I didn't even peep that they were fucking at the end of that song. I saw the timeline said it, and then I went back and listened to it, and I felt guilty. I felt dirty. I felt like, oh my god. Count Me Out. Purple Hearts is crazy. Summer Walker with Ghostface. I didn't know I needed that, but Summer Walker was floating on that. They all smoked it. That might be my favorite song on the record, but I really like Die Hard a lot. I like Die Hard a lot. I like Count Me Out. Savior might be my favorite Kendrick verse on it. Mirror is great. Again, it's great double album. 18 tracks. What do I like more, Mr. Morale or the Big Steppers? Day 1, day 2, I would have told you Mr. Morale, no problem. But I feel like we come into that argument I was talking about where one has more like good songs and one has like a better... I feel like the second half of this album is a more... that Money Word cohesive ride all the way through. And it grew on me the more I listened to it. But I still really like Mr. Morale. I'd probably go with disc 1 because it has United in Grief, Purple Hearts, and Die Hard on it. But Silent Hill, Savior, Mr. Morale, and Mirror on that bottom half are still great as well. So if you haven't listened to the Kendrick album yet, I don't know how or why, but definitely do. It's great. Kendrick albums in particular are albums that should be listened to like in order as they're like as the track list intended. Don't shuffle that shit, especially on first listen. Kendrick and Cole albums, you want to do that for sure, and like Hove albums, like older hip hop acts. But that's pretty much it for music. That's pretty much it for the episode, actually. Yeah, we're about 45 minutes in. Laptop's rapidly dying, but we're alright. We're not that close to it, but now we're not that close to the finish line in terms of like we'll finish and then we'll just barely make it, like we did. I think that was last week or the week prior. But again, shout out to y'all. If you're still here, if you're still watching, listening, you the best. We will be back next week with episode 33. Who knows what we will discuss there? Maybe I'll find my keys. Maybe I'll lose more keys. Maybe I don't even want to think about it. Anywho, like, subscribe, share, quote, tweet, Facebook, MySpace. I hate all the promotional jargon. You know it. It's probably why this is so slow. Like, everything's slow to get off the ground at first, like especially when just like building it from scratch. But I am horrible at promoting this fucking thing. It just comes with like a general feeling of people just probably not going to give a shit of what I post anyway. So I was just like, I'll post what I post. If they see it, they see it. It's just generally how I feel about things when I post them. Anywho, we will catch y'all next week. Again, I love y'all. Be safe, have fun. Weather's getting nice, and get those little fucking clip things for your keys, because that's what I'm getting. I'm getting one of them little fucking metal clips that like janitors and like meat men wear, that like their keys are, like, you hear them coming from halfway down the hall because the keys are jingling. I'm gonna be that guy for the rest of my life. I'll see y'all next week.